I had to completely change the room that I was in because I was not getting a strong enough internet connection in my office, which is where I was set up and which is where I was hoping to do my lives, because it's a lot cooler in that room and it's very hot in this room. So anyway, we're here. We're gonna make it work. This is the beauty of going live. Hi, Inger. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, you guys, for waiting and for coming back. I'm mortified, but I'm also just laughing because it's like, it's the typical stuff. What are you gonna do? It's like the trials and errors of like moving and then trying to figure out like where to work again and all that good stuff. Anyway, I hope I am not frozen. Fingers crossed, praying to God that does not happen again. But it's like when it rains, it pours, you know? It's like, it's been one of those weeks since we moved in on Friday, like last Friday, that everything that could go wrong is going to start going wrong. And it's just like, I should have known, you know? And I had a feeling too, when Mitch was saying that he wasn't going to be home, I had this like slight inclination that because he's not home, something's going to happen. And I'm going to have to be like figuring out all on my own. So, you know, that brain, it was firing off, and I ran and moved up to my closet, and hopefully the internet is good in here. The light's pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie, but it's just an inferno. So your girl might be sweating throughout this makeup tutorial, but you know what? It's not about that. We're not gonna learn a whole lot today. The lives are about spontaneity, going live, hanging out, catching up, and doing all that kind of stuff, you know? So if that sounds good, then just stick with me, and I promise you, hopefully, I am not gonna be glitchy and frozen like I was earlier. I know the AC is on, it just doesn't reach this room, so it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be totally fine. It's gonna be totally fine, and I'm just gonna move my makeup that I ran into this room with. Drop a powder that I'm gonna put on, and let's get this party started, okay? Now, when I first started this live, I was talking about how we moved and how when we moved in, we didn't have internet, we didn't have hot water. I went about 4 days without hot water. I took some cold showers, and honestly, I washed my hair in the sink because I was like that cold. But it is what it is, you know. I'm just happy, I'm grateful, and hot water or not, I'm happy to be in this house. I'm also very, very sad at the same time, and I'm a firm believer that like two things can exist at once. So while I'm gonna ramble, because it's gonna be a ramble town, like I mentioned that when I first started the live earlier, that this is gonna be a ramble town, and it kind of just is what it is. So if you are here for it, please stick around. But while I rant, let me just put some glow screen on. I was gonna put this on before I started just getting all glitchy and crazy down there. I'm still sweating. I'm gonna apply this with my N15 brush. And I wanna talk about, I posted like a carousel yesterday on my Instagram. It's basically like 17 or 20. You could post up to like 20 photos in a carousel on Instagram. They're really fun. I put music behind it. But I sat there and I was pulling the pictures that represent like the last couple weeks in July. And I'm sitting there on the couch. I got the dogs with me, and I got my coffee. And I post, the first picture was a picture of me, Tomas, and Bear. I'm gonna try not to cry doing this. Oh my God, I'm an emotional wreck. But I post this picture, right? And I sit there and I like sobbing, okay? Like sobbing like an emo baby. And I couldn't stop. Like I just put my makeup on. I even like filmed the makeup look that I was wearing. And I ruined my entire face because I just sat there like feeling really emotional and crying. And I have an explanation for this too. I'm a Capricorn, and I'm also just a really sentimental person, like to a fault. I am so sentimental that I will save like hotel key cards. I'll save like seashells, like random stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's how emotional and sentimental that I am. So I've always had a really hard time with moving, like a really, really hard time with moving. It's always been like, God, one of the hardest things for me to get through because I'm so sentimental. Like I will put myself in a corner. I'll be so upset, like thinking about like all the sad things and little things and like nuanced things I'm gonna miss about where I was once living. So anyway, you know, I know it's a lot of you guys, and I actually took a lot of comfort reading the comments on that post because so many of you commented back and you were like, I totally understand. I completely understand. Like moving, it could be so happy and also so sad at the same time. And it made me feel so much better because it made me feel like less crazy, you know, and less like, I don't know. It's one of those things where like I would tell certain people in my life, like certain friends and like colleagues and stuff, and they're like, yeah, but get over it, you know, like it's great, it's exciting. I'm like, no, it totally is. But hear me out. Two things can exist at the same time. It could be super exciting. I could be super grateful. I'm gonna put my Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation on in shade 120 while I'm talking. You know, two things can exist at once. You could be super excited, beyond grateful for the move, and I've worked really hard for this move too. So like I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of Mitch. I'm proud of like how much we've accomplished together in our marriage. But I'm also incredibly sad and sentimental. So leaving the house the first house we lived in together as a couple was just killer. Like it just killed me. It was so much more emotional than I thought it was going to be. And it really it wrecked me, you guys. It freaking wrecked me. Not to get sappy, but it wrecked me. I've cried so much over this. And they're like happy and sad tears, right? I'm super excited. I love this house. Mitch has spent from November of last year to up until he's still doing things. We don't have a kitchen that's finished, by the way, and there's so much to catch you up on. It's wild, to be quite honest. But Mitch has worked his tail off, quite literally, working and then going to this house and doing everything for the most part. Like he's done like 75% of the work himself. So he's so proud of this house and he's so like in love with it. But then I, on the other hand, didn't have like the emotional attachment to this house that he did, like not the same emotional attachment, because while he's been working and then coming here and working on the house, I've been working and then at the other house alone filming. So I lost my filming partner. We were barely spending any time together. Like the last like 10 months, well, what's November now? 10 months? Yeah, so the last 10 months we've spent very, very little time together, and it's taken a toll. It's just been a really lonely time, like this year for us, because we're like two ships in the night. He's working on the house, he comes home, he's beyond beat, he's like covered in sawdust and like sheet dust and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm like all alone in like just the sea of work that is like YouTube and social media and being a makeup artist and commuting and being in traffic and all that stuff. Anyway, all that to say, the move was really emotional. It's still very emotional, and I'm still feeling like very like emo about the whole thing, and still like very, very like I get a pit in my stomach when I think about the old house because I already miss it so much. And it was a really special house. Like I bought that house in 2019, got a really great deal on it. I'm gonna put the Fenty concealer in, by the way. And side note, if you're new here, if I don't mention the product, it's all gonna be linked, I promise you, in the description. So once this video is uploaded, everything will be linked, including the shades that I'm wearing too. So this is the Fenty We're Even concealer. I got the shade 170C, so it should be more of like a cool pink undertone, which is great for my dark circles. But anyway, so long story short, I know it's like a lot of rambling, but this is what we do on the lives. Like we catch up, we talk about real stuff, we get emotional sometimes, and they're just a really nice break from super edited, super polished content that you see on the internet. But anyway, I bought the house that we moved out of in 2019. I always joke around that it was the last affordable house like in Los Angeles, in California. And it is too. It was like it was a great deal. Like that house was such a deal. When I would tell people like how much I bought that house for, they'd be like, what? How? Where? Like, what are you talking about? How did you get a house that's so cheap? And I just, I lucked out. But with that, the house is really small. And it was a tear down on the inside, pretty much. Like it was essentially like a complete and utter tear down. So Mitch actually spent the first year living in that other house, remodeling that house as well. So he did all of our flooring, he did all the drywall, him and his dad painted the entire house. He replaced all the doors, he did everything, kitchen, all of that. So he did the same thing in this house as well, which has allowed us to do a remodel, and still be able to eat, basically, because remodels are so expensive and houses are so expensive. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but basically I just want to kind of like dump a little bit of what's been going on in my brain and, you know, open up to you guys and just talk about how it's just so crazy. It's wild moving. It's just such a emotional roller coaster. I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited. It's such a breath of fresh air to have like more space, but it's also just incredibly sad. So there's that. I cried a ton yesterday over what could be deemed as ridiculous reasons, but here we are. I'm human. And two things can exist at the same time. Okay, let's do some bronzer. Let's talk about some makeup for a second. And again, I just want to say this really quick one more time in case I didn't stress this enough. Like your guys' comments on that Instagram post, it literally made me feel so much better. And I just appreciate it so much. Like you have no idea. Like those comments, like a lot of them made me cry even more because they were so sweet. And you guys opened up and shared your stories as well about moving and how you felt the same way. So those stories made me really emotional. I read one actually this morning and I cried again this morning. I'm sure the person who left the comment wouldn't mind if I shared this story, but they mentioned that the first time they moved, it was because their dad passed away. And oh my gosh, it just killed me. I'm like sitting in the parking lot at Whole Foods about to go get some like breakfast, crying my eyes out. Yeah, I don't know. It just really, that story really got me because the first time that I ever moved was, well, not the first time. Okay, so when I was a kid growing up, I grew up in two different houses. And if you don't know, I grew up in Glendale, California. Glendale is like 10 miles away from LA, 10 miles outside of LA. It's like right outside of LA, right next to it, basically. And the first time I moved from one house that I lived at till I was 5 years old. It's probably a really boring story, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway. Lived at that house till I was 5, and I have such fond memories of that house. I had a bunny named Bugsy. He was like a big fluffy white bunny. I got my first dog that I rescued off the street, quite literally. I named him Charlie. He was a Chihuahua mix. I wonder why I love Chihuahuas, right? And so when we moved from that house, when I was 5, we moved to another house and it was like a lateral move. It was a better house. It was a little bit bigger, not by a ton. Tatum, you're from Glendale too? Oh my God, we've probably seen each other out. So anyway, it was a lateral move. It was a better house. It was a slightly better neighborhood too. And I remember crying and crying and crying. I could not stop crying. I was so sad to leave that house. And I was only 5. So I've had this emotional attachment to homes and spaces since as long as I can remember. And then when I lived in the house that I eventually like grew up in the longest, so I went from one house from when I was 5 to the next house, lived there till I officially moved out when my dad passed away. My dad passed away when I was 24. But I had been like living at other places here and there. Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn off the super thanks. Thank you so much for the super thanks, but please no one else sent any. I love you guys, just hang out, but I appreciate you so much. And I forgot to turn that off, but I love you. Thank you. Gosh, you guys are so sweet. Okay, going back to my story. I lived there till I was 24 years old, and that was the hardest move because I lived there for, what is that, 19 years, right? Am I doing the math right? I don't know, something like that. Yeah, 19 years. And I moved because I officially moved. I had been living with my boyfriend at the time. So it was like, I lived there, but I didn't really live there. And I officially moved when my dad passed away. It's a long, complicated story, but it involves some like really shady family members and just it was a really sad time. I'll just put it that way. My dad had a lot of problems, but when he passed away, we all had to move. And my grandma actually ended up selling our house out from under us. And it's a long story, but then that was such a traumatic move that it just wrecked me. I pretty much never recovered from that move. And from there, every move since has been even more traumatic because I have this like severe emotional attachment to places and spaces. Yeah, I wish I could just work that out in therapy, but I've had no luck with that. So needless to say, that's why I've handled this move, even though it's such a happy move, I've handled it in such a poor way, basically. Long story short, that's where my head's at mentally. Now, there's no dog sightings. I know, Carrie, because the dogs are on the floor over by my bed. So I was hoping to have them I was hoping to go live in that other room, my office, because I was going to sit on the floor and they'd be like right there with me and it would have been really nice. But alas, that did not work out clearly. Now I want to talk about some new products while this concealer dries down a little bit. I have some new powder from Fenty Beauty. It's like the bright powder. It's a pressed powder. I love that they did this in a pressed powder because it's just super handy. It's the shade Rose Quartz that they sent me, and they also sent me another shade too, but I don't have it near me right now. It's literally in the other room. So they sent me that. I'll use this to set my under eye concealer in just a bit. I did 2 layers of concealer because I feel like I've just been so red under my eyes that I can't get enough sleep to counteract it, and my skin's been a wreck since this move, basically. Now I also have new eyeshadows from Make Beauty. They sent me a couple of their newest shades. There's this really pretty bronzy brown. It's called Fusion. I might do this one. However, let me swatch them all for you, and then we can decide together which one I want to do. So this is Fusion. Let's do a little swatchy swatch right here. They're very, very, very pigmented. Oh, thank you, Jan. And then I have a few more that really stuck out to me. I have Beam. So this is Beam. Pretty, right? I'm feeling kind of a light eyeshadow look today. It's a Sunday. I'm going to be out and about. Ooh, that's pretty. Wow. Okay, let's keep Beam close by because I think I might use Beam. And then we have Haze. Haze also looked really pretty. So that's Haze. It's more gold. Oh, good morning. I love that you just woke up. Get your beauty rest. So far, I'm feeling Beam. I'm going to keep it close to me. And one more. I have, this one's also really pretty. You might like this one too. This is the shade Fuzz. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Not what I was expecting. So this is Fuzz. It's like a true like rose gold. That's pretty. I don't know which one. I'm kind of torn, honestly. While you guys are deciding, I'm going to blend out this last round of concealer, and then we'll do a little bit of blush. And I have PR from Makeup by Mario that I was not expecting to get. I never expect Makeup by Mario PR, so when I get it, I'm always like, oh, thank you. I'm so excited. I've already bought quite a few of these, as you probably know. But Makeup by Mario sent me the new, all of the new shades, which I'm so grateful for, honestly. I'm going to probably put some of these in my professional kit. Joe says Beam and Biz. I like that. So this is the new collection of liquid shadows. It's the Mario Signature Eye Made Easy. I'm thinking of doing Sandstone and then one of these lighter shades, probably Beam on top, and just doing like a really light, pretty, summery Sunday kind of vibe look. They did launch, Makeup by Mario did launch some new eyeliners as well. There's like a metallic blue, midnight blue, and there's a new bronze one. I think I might put some bronze on too. What do you guys think? Sandstone and Fuzz. Fuzz was really pretty. I'm gonna have to save that one for another one. All right, I want some Makeup by Mario liquid shadows. Love all of Mario. Oh, they're honestly so good. I bought Taupe and Chestnut, and I've been wearing them on repeat. Taupe is probably my favorite. It's a really great, it ends up being a really pretty neutral brown. Yeah, so Lorena, they have new eyeliners, and I didn't actually realize that until I was looking at Makeup by Mario on the Sephora website, and I saw they had some new shades. Well, they said new, like on the title, and I didn't even realize they launched some new liners. Okay, my skin is looking so much better than it has been for the last, I don't know, week. They also sent me a new shade called Taupe, or it is the shade Taupe. And I think, oh, this looks pretty. Let me show you this. That's Taupe. Ooh. Okay, we gotta do Taupe. This looks gorgeous. So I'm gonna take out, oh my God, these PR packages, not to complain about something so ridiculous, but they are so hard to get out. Oh, where's Mitch when you need him? I always need him. It's not a matter of when, it's a matter of always. Okay, let's put on Sandstone, the liquid shadow. And I'm gonna run this all over my eyelid. It's gonna look really light, and it should be a really nice neutral eyeshadow primer too. So either wear it alone as like a nice light eyeshadow, depending on your skin tone, or wear it as an eyeshadow base. These do dry down incredibly fast. I'm gonna work pretty quick and just tap it on first with my N16 brush, blend it up into the crease. Are you still, Jen's asking a great question. Are you still loving the Danessa Myricks shadow sticks or Makeup by Mario shadows long lasting? Because the palette isn't on me. The palette is not on me either, and if I don't prime my eyes properly. So Jen, if you prime your eyes with like either a MAC paint pot, a good matte concealer, like honestly, the Estee Lauder Double Wear as a shadow primer is amazing. Set it with a little bit of powder and you are like good to go. But without any kind of eyeshadow primer, no matte palette, especially that Mario one, is going to be long lasting. So just something to call out. I'm going to blend Sandstone all the way up. And like I mentioned, we're going to do a very soft eye makeup look. So just blending this all the way up. I did start out with a little bit of the soft matte concealer from NARS underneath my brow line just to clean up my brows prior to going live. Thank God I did that, because otherwise this live would have been probably a total mess. Let's be real. Okay, let's go on with Beam. I think we all pretty much voted unanimously for Beam, I think. I mean, they're all pretty. We can't go wrong with any of these, to be honest. So I'm going to use my fingertip because these are really like creamy. And I think that these go on the best with the warmth of your fingertip. Good morning, you guys. I see so many of you jumping on too. I'm so happy you guys came back. I appreciate you all. That was rough. That was quite stressful, especially when you're alone. Okay, so this Kim is the new shade extensions from Make Beauty. The actual name of these is the Multi-Chromatic Metal Reflecting Eyeshadow. They're very big, but look how pretty Beam is on top of Sandstone. Oh my God, Lou is on. Good morning, Julie. I'm so happy you're here with me. I have been missing you guys so much. It's ridiculous. And also too, like, let me just go on another rant, okay? This is also going to lead into being a Capricorn. As a Capricorn, I thrive with routine. I thrive hardcore by having a routine. So being out of my routine with this move and how much time and emotional, like just emotional time it's been taken away from me, and my daily routine, I'm just so out of sorts. So I am so looking forward to being like completely settled, having a kitchen sink. That would be really nice. Having a stove. I don't have that either, right? I mean, I have a stove, but it's not hooked up. Having a countertop would be great too. I'm really excited for those things. Once I have those, I feel like I will be back into somewhat of a routine, and my Capricorn soul is begging to have a routine back, you know? Kim gets it. Kim says she loves a routine too. Oh, hi from Boca. Hi back. How hot is it in Boca right now? Okay, I'm kind of obsessed with this eyeshadow, to be honest. This is so easy. And I cut my nails, by the way. I had a lot of people telling me to cut my nails, and I heard you loud and clear. I also almost ripped off a few of my nails when I was moving. I jammed my finger so hard into a box trying to bring it upstairs, and my fingers were throbbing from it, so I cut them all off. We're back to like pretty short nails. Like that's very short for me as of lately. And I like it. I feel good. I feel like a new woman. So let's use taupe and let's do some lining. And have you guys tried any of the liquid shadows yet from Makeup by Mario? Have any of you tried them? I did get a closet finally. I'm standing in it, which is absolutely thrilling. I've dreamed of having a closet. I haven't really had a closet. Like, I mean, I guess when I was a kid, I had like a door, but not like an actual like closet, you know, like a proper closet. Oh, thank you. Elizabeth, they're comparable to Armani 100%, but I am feeling like they're longer wearing, which is great. So if you have oily eyelids, they're really gonna be amazing for us. But you do, like I mentioned earlier, you have to work pretty quickly with them because the dry down now is pretty fast, but which that makes them in turn very long wearing. So it's good and it's bad. But I've been loving them. I think the shades they launched too are really, really pretty. I was talking to a few of you recently and you were saying that you used, I think it was like one of the darker brown shades as an eyeliner. And I thought about doing that, but I really want to use one of these new colors from Makeup by Mario. So taupe it is. Terry says she has Sandstone, too light for you. Ooh, okay. Terry, can you maybe use it as an eyeshadow primer and then just build up darker colors on top, kind of like how I used like sandstone on myself, just kind of as a light base. Because the good thing is, even if you get a lighter color like Terry, it's pigmented enough that it will counteract and it will camouflage any like redness on your eyes, like discoloration. So it can work like an actual true eyeshadow primer in that regard. So I'm dragging taupe across the lash line. I'm gonna tightline the inner corner like that. Let's tightline this inner corner. Taupe is one of those colors that I don't normally gravitate towards for me because I have dark brown eyes. But as a makeup artist, taupe, like this kind of color, is so fantastic for blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes, anyone with like gray hair too, or like really like a dusty blonde hair is gonna be a phenomenal, like super duper flattering, everyday wearable kind of liner color. So I always try to suggest taupes for anyone that's like fair skin with light hair, light or gray hair, lighter eyes. Instead of doing black, a color like taupe is going to give you the same effect, but in a really soft, flattering way. So I'm going to line the bottom lash line a little bit as well. And thank you guys so much for the congratulations and the well wishes on the house. I'm seeing a lot of those pop in, and I'm not trying to ignore any of these comments. I'm trying to get my groove on with this makeup. What I love about the Make by Mario pencils too is they're very long wearing, but they're very creamy. So they go on, you can blend them out. You can kind of manipulate the shape. Like you have more time to manipulate the shape with these. And once they're set and on, they don't budge. So the good news is I have a lot of clean makeup brushes right now. And also I should talk to you too, in case you missed it, BK Beauty is having their anniversary sale. They're 6 years old, which is crazy. I feel like they're still such a new brand, and they're 6 years old. They just had their anniversary. So they're doing an anniversary sale. They're having like big sales and giveaways too. Like they're giving away, I believe, with every, I want to say it's $150 purchase, you get a free A506 brush, the iconic Angie Han Flashy brush. The one that looks like the kitten paw that everyone's copying. That one's going to come free, which is pretty awesome. So right now I'm blending out this eyeliner with my N12 brush. And have you used the soap again? Yes, Elizabeth, I washed all my brushes while I had a kitchen sink in my old house right before I moved. And thank God I had the hindsight to do that, because that really helped. I'm gonna go back to taupe and do one of my favorite things. I'm gonna take taupe, I'm gonna run my N12 brush into the actual tip of the product and then smudge out this liner even more. Eva, I missed you guys so much. You don't even know. Like, not going live last week was truly depressing. And also last week was like one of the hardest days in terms of the move. It was just a lot of moving parts, quite literally. A lot of disasters, no hot water, and no internet and all that stuff. So that was just, that was very hard. Okay, liner's looking good. I feel like me again, which is great. Let's do some more makeup. We need to do some blush. I have my bronzer on, but before we do that, let's actually do mascara. I've been loving the one from Persona. This one is so good. It's the 2B mascara, but before we do this, let's do a little quick curl. So a quick curl. Lip product that lasts all day. Liquid lipsticks are gonna last no matter what, longer than any other lip products, but I have so many techniques on how to keep your lipstick on longer. I have them a lot in like short form videos that you could check out, but powdering your lips prior to lip liner is one of the biggest factors to keeping any lipstick on longer. So let's use the Persona Volumizing and 2B mascara. I'll leave a link to everything I'm using, by the way, so don't worry if you're just stopping in. Everything I have on my face right now, in case you missed it, is going to be linked once this goes live. So they also launched a brown mascara, and it's really, really pretty. It's very, very soft. But this mascara formula is just crushing it right now. It is so long lasting and so good. It's really, really hot. Like, we've reached the point of summer where it's now 100+ days, I feel like. And this mascara has not smudged or flaked once on me. So I've been grabbing this probably the most. This one, and I do love the Half Magic one. I'm kind of late to the game on that one. I feel like it's been around for at least a year, but have you ever tried Runaway Rogue liquid lipstick? No, that sounds nice. Is that the brand or is that like the formula? I need to know more about this. I love it when you guys suggest new brands I've never heard of. I'm always open to trying new brands, especially for the sake of like me trying it so you guys don't have to, and I'll give you like my feedback on if it's, you know, worth it or not. But if you ever have suggestions on brands you haven't seen me tried on my channel, please, please, please leave that in the comments of any of my videos, and hopefully me or Mitch will see it. Hi from Memphis. Oh my gosh. Hello. I went to Memphis a couple years ago. Okay, need help. Lancome liquid shadows don't last when it's hot. Okay, put paint pot underneath. Same problem with Makeup Forever sticks. The paint pots from MAC will definitely help, but you should also try doing more thin layers. First of all, thinner layers will dry down better, therefore giving you more longevity. If you're piling on too thick and too heavy of cream products, they don't ever get a chance to fully dry down. So they end up getting creasy and not as long lasting. So try thinner brands and layering them, but definitely try putting an actual proper eyeshadow primer first. Do a light layer powder, any loose powder, and then put on your liquid or your cream shadow on top. I just saw a comment that has broken my heart. Laura Miller, I am so sorry to hear you lost your sweet dog. I am sending you the biggest hug right now. Like, girl, don't make me cry again. That just absolutely wrecks me. I am sending you the biggest hug. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. That is just, oh, truly devastating. Dogs are the best thing on earth. Like what's better than a dog? Nothing. Nothing beats having dogs. Doggos, cats, all kind of animals are just the best. So my heart goes out to you, Laura. Not to change subject, I'm going to put on this Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Blush. It's the Healthy Glow Stick Blush in Pretty Glow. I've got a ton of people asking me how I feel about these. I really like the peach one. I like this one too, but this one is surprisingly has been my favorite. The only thing about these is they are so glowy. Like, they are beyond glowy, and as an oily girl, I make them work because I do really like the formula. I think that they're super duper easy to blend. Like, that blended in 2 seconds, but they are like very luminous and very dewy. So when I'm putting this on, I really try to avoid this part of my face where I get super oily in general. And if I do end up going too far in on that area, I just put extra powder to lock it into place. I do like layering this as well. So I'll take brush to product as well, and then layer on and build up the color intensity. Gosh, that is a really pretty one. That's Pretty Glow. I always forget the name, but it's so obvious. Pretty Glow. Okay, Carrie's asking, Nikki, would it be weird to layer the Peach Glow with the Armani Cosmic Pink? Armani Cosmic Pink. Do I know that color, Carrie? I don't think so. Cosmic Pink, I mean, if it's a pink, it's in the same color family, but there's no rules. Actually, you can even layer this with the peach one and it will look really balanced and really flattering. So no, definitely not. Layer it, have fun with your makeup. Don't overthink it. And the worst case scenario is you don't layer it again, you know? If it doesn't look beautiful, if it's not quite hitting right, then just don't do it again, but then you'll know at least. Okay, Nikki, have you ever done micro needling? No, I haven't. I'm afraid of it, to be honest. I think it's a little bit more intense than something I would want to do. So no, I haven't. I'm a Botox girly. My Botox is what keeps me looking alive and awake. But no, I haven't tried it. Nothing against it. I have plenty of friends who have done micro needling and they actually love the results. I just don't know if it's for me, you know? Okay. Let's set my under eyes. Let's go with the Fenty powder. This is the Press Compact, and it's supposed to be brightening and smoothing and like more blurring. Botox is a lifesaver. I love that comment. So no hate for Botox over here. So the shade that I have, once again, is Rose Quartz. I'll link it. I'm going to apply with my N14. And I didn't actually finish my thought, but all my brushes from BK Beauty are 25 or 23 to 20% off, or 20 to 23% off is a better way to put it. My 7-piece set is 23% off, which comes out to about $45 off the entire set. And then my individual brushes, like the N14, N17, N12, all the individual brushes are 20% off. Deanna, I have tried the new Review Beauty lip liners and I am obsessed. Those do not move. Like, they literally do not move. They're incredible. Like, absolutely incredible. I cannot wait for her to launch even more colors because I feel like they just nailed that formula. And also, side note, I wish that they were out when I did a whole Review Beauty giveaway recently. I believe it was about 3 weeks ago at this point. So maybe we'll have to do a round 2 where I include those in the giveaway. Okay. Jesse, please ask me your bronzer question again. I'm so sorry I missed it. Oop, I just saw it again. Jesse's asking, what's your all-time favorite powder bronzer that works whether my skin is fair or tan? Ooh, I have a neutral to cool undertones. I'm looking for something versatile that looks natural and isn't orange. Jesse, it's gonna depend on well, you said you're fair and you want a powder bronzer. That's where it's tricky. I mean, it's hard to suggest like an actual color unless I actually saw you. Like if you were in my makeup chair, I'd be able to suggest a color right off the top of my head. But thinking about like what's not orangey in terms of bronzer, but that's powder, I would say maybe check out a Butter Biscuit from Fenty Beauty, or there's another one. It's like a light, more neutral leaning one. Also, I really like the new ones from Laura Mercier. I feel like they've done a really good job of creating more neutral, less orangey bronzers. The Gucci one I feel like pulls really orange, to be quite honest, but that could just be the shade that I have. But yeah, God, that's a tough one. YSL 02, that's a good one. So Mina's saying Gucci #1, Armani. Like the ones I use in my makeup kit are the Fenty ones, the YSL ones in terms of like powder, and like the Hermes, I love them myself, but God, that's a good question. I gotta think about that a little bit more. Like you kind of stumped me with that. I wish I could see an actual picture of you to like better suggest a color. Okay, in the meantime, I'm gonna set the Charlotte Tilbury blush with a little bit of Petal from Westman Atelier. Just a little bit will do ya. But so far I'm loving this like light, bright makeup look. It's like perfect for summer. Any suggestions on how to choose a concealer without testers? Process of elimination. You could always refer to my how to figure out your foundation shade video. It's a couple years old at this point, but process of elimination is a good way to go about it. Determine what undertone you want to get. Determine what color family you're in, like what range of tones you're in. Like, are you a fair light? Are you a light medium? Are you a medium deep? Are you a deep rich? Determine what category you're in and then process of elimination from there. But ultimately, you're gonna have an easier time if you check out testers because online swatches are not always accurate. So I'm using the shade Biscuit now from the same palette and the 104 brush from BK Beauty, which is my actual, like one of my favorite bronzer brushes because it's big, it's soft, it gives me a nice wash of color without being too intense. Oh, thank you so much, Eva, for the well wishes. That is so sweet. I really appreciate that. So far, we're getting there. We're feeling more at home every single night, so that's good. How do you wear necklaces, especially stacked with long hair? I have long hair and they always get super tangled. Ooh, I know what you mean. Mine actually don't surprisingly get tangled. I don't know what it is, like what magic is with my hair, but I usually keep my hair kind of like pulled back like that, so they don't really get tangled. I don't know, I haven't really had that issue, to be honest, but yeah, it's kind of a hard thing. Summer and long hair is not the most fun, but also just when you're wearing jewelry, it can definitely get tangled. I've just been lucky. I've not been tangled very much. What perfume is my favorite? I actually just talked about this recently and I posted a video. Right now, I'm wearing another 13 with Marseille Essence Vanille. It's like their vanilla body essence. It's not like an actual perfume, so it's a little bit more lighter. And I love to layer that one. Okay, so I just took my N12 brush, a little bit of the Biscuit shade, and now let's do a lip combo. We need some lips, and actually, let's grab a Ravi. And I also want to do a tinted lip balm. So I think I'm going to do almond. Where's my other one? Okay, it must be in my purse. Never mind. I definitely have honey in my purse right now. So let's do almond from Ravi Beauty and line my lips. And one thing I want to do, since it is a hot day, I want to take a bit more powder. Oh no, song, what did I miss? Please tell me. Jesse, I don't know if the Guccio one is cool toned. I'm not familiar with that shade, so I can't tell you, but now I'm curious. I'll have to go look. Let's line our lips with Ravi Beauty Almond. Lauren, I would definitely use almond or honey with Lily lipstick, but I've also used it with fig and it's gorgeous. Yeah, so almond is actually like a true cool tone, like neutral, leaning more cool tone brown. And they nailed it. They did such a good job of this neutral because it's actually like truly like a neutral leaning cool. There's no orange in it whatsoever. Sarah, I love Ravi Beauty. I did a whole full face of my favorite products from them during a live a few weeks back if you want to check that out. So I'm gonna line my lips. They're really creamy, but they dry down to not move, like quite literally. These do not move. Everything else will move, like the lipsticks will move, my glosses will move, but the lip liner is still intact after that, which is amazing. I feel like these would be excellent for bridal makeup or just for like a long wear, you know, if you have an event, especially an outdoor event. This will be good. So look how pretty almond is. I'm gonna feather this in a bit. This ring on my right hand was custom made by Mitch, my husband, so I don't have a link or anything like that, but he made it for me like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Okay. Yeah, same. I hate when my lip liners disappear and that one has like quite literally not budged. You know, why don't we do something actually like full blown Ruby? I was gonna do the Fido Glow, but I think I wanna do Daisy instead. So I think it's gonna be prettier with like this overall makeup look. Oh, thank you, Dana. Appreciate it. Oh, she did? Okay, I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out. Barney, I'm wearing one of the vintage necklaces I got yesterday. It's this one right here. This was such a deal. This was like $25. I got, me and my friend Tessa, we're so hooked on, okay, side story. Let me just put this on really quick and then we'll talk to you about my jewelry. I went to one of my friend's stores yesterday. She had a pop-up of vintage, like truly vintage, like costume jewelry. So nothing was expensive. Like there were some pieces that were like over like 120, I think was like the most expensive. But everything was like well under that, like really, really good deals. I got like bracelets for like $25. I got this other bracelet was like $30. I got a pair of vintage earrings. I got such cool stuff. I want to show you these really quick, actually. Like how cool are these? They're vintage, like quite literally. I think these were from the 50s or 60s, she said. And all the stuff, actually, most of the stuff was sourced from the UK, which was really cool too. So I had a great time, such an amazing time. But this is the makeup look. What do we feel like we're missing? Anything? Maybe a little bit of something right here. Maybe a little additional powder really quick, just because it's a hot day. But how pretty is almond with Daisy from Ruby Beauty? I feel like it's so gorgeous. So the makeup look is nice and fresh and light. I'm loving the way my skin looks and feels. It doesn't feel heavy at all. Highlighter. Okay, let's do a little highlighter because I got a request for it. And I actually have it right here and I was wanting an excuse to put this on. The Dior, I love this so much. The Dior Forever Glow Luminizer in the shade 02 Gold Halo. I will never remember the name of this for some reason. Backside of my N17. Let's just hit the top of my cheek. Oh, this one? Yes, I just got that too. That is still on the website at my friend's store. I'll try to link it if it's still available. I know it was in store, but I don't know if it was online as well. So if it is, I'll link it. But this is the makeup look, you guys. I had so much fun catching up with you. I hope this was a decent catch up. I'm so sorry for the chaos earlier going live and then losing internet. That was rougher on me than it was for you. Just trust me when I tell you that I was a lot more stressed out and pretty much sweating. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for joining this live. I missed you all so much. I really can't even put into words. I'm so excited to be back in a routine. If you like this lighting, maybe we'll just go live in here going forward, just because it's really pretty light, and we all figure out the AC situation because it's definitely really hot in this room. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for commenting on that post on my Instagram. Your guys' stories and relating to like the emotional feeling of like being sad and happy really helped me get through the day, and I just really appreciate it. Like it means a ton to me, more than you know. So really appreciate you guys. I will be back next Sunday for sure, and I think I'm back the following Sunday as well if I'm not traveling. I may be traveling close to that date, so I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. But till then, I'll see you on Tuesday, I'll see you on Saturday, and I'll see you in the next Sunday live. But giveaway to come soon once my life gets settled. And thank you so much for joining me. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Have a great Sunday. Go get out there, get a good matcha, get a treat, go pet a dog, go have a great day. I love you all. I'll see you soon.